BBC News at Westminster.
Anyone caught leaving the UK from England without a reasonable excuse could be fined £5,000 from next week.
It's part of new COVID laws which come into force on Monday the 29th of March. Our reporter Keith Doyle joins us now from Heathrow. Keith, what do we know so far about this legislation?
Yes, good morning from Heathrow. Well, there's relatively few flights leaving here this morning, but shortly there will be ones leaving for Amsterdam, for New York and for Chicago. But from next Monday, March the 29th, it will be illegal under English law to leave the UK without a valid reason. Now, you could get a fine of £5,000 if you do that. There's also fines of £200 for people who don't fill out those passenger information forms. Now, it's already illegal to go on holiday, but what this will do will make it an explicit offence to leave the country without a valid reason, so tightening the rules before any busy holiday season. This doesn't apply to the common travel areas, so that's the Isle of Man, the Channel Islands and the Republic of Ireland, but they can't be used as stepping stones to then go further. So that loophole of people going to Dublin and then flying on, that has been ruled out. There are exemptions, of course. You can leave the country for work, for study, for moving house and various health, family and safety reasons. Now, the newspaper headlines this morning are screaming that the holidays are banned until the end of June. Now, technically that's right because the law stays in place till the 30th of June, but it will be reviewed on April the 12th and every 35 days after that. That's in line with the government's roadmap. So it could well be lifted earlier, but what the government is doing here is putting everything in place so it can slam the brakes on any early summer getaway if it feels it's necessary.
Keith, thanks very much indeed. That's Keith Doyle.
Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center in London. Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for watching this Punchline Africa Television, the only African television that talks about Africa. What ails Africa? What kills Africa? What can we do as Africans to have our partners? Who are our partners in the world? Who are sincere? Who come to our rescue? Who have built us up to today? Are we creating a new friction of a Cold War on our continent? What has happened? Where has the non-aligned movement gone? Fidel Castro, while he was alive, he said he will never bow to any of the pressure, either from the West or the East. Is it time for Africa to revive the non-aligned movement? Indira Gandhi, the assassinated Prime Minister of India, Madam Indira Gandhi said he would rather die supporting every nation of the third world from the hegemony of the capitalists and the communist states than succumb to the pressure of their hegemony. Indira Gandhi was assassinated. He went, she went, she's no more. Fidel Castro is no more. Lots of people, Gabriel Nasser, Milton Obote, Nyerere, Sekou Touré, Jomo Kenyatta, Haile Selassie, Nimeri, Siad Barre, all of them advocated for non-aligned movement. Kaunda, all these people, but all this stood for one Ahijo of Cameroon. They all stood for one purpose, the purpose of having an Africa non-aligned. Non-aligned in the sense that we don't, if we get food from the West, we keep quiet. If we get food from the East, we keep quiet. But we see a trouble coming back. We see the danger coming back on our continent. Are we safe? That's the topic for today at a later hour. But for now, I want to take this opportunity to introduce my crew, my partners, my panel, all the way from Kenya, the Republic of Kenya. That there, I will begin with Miriam Ogutu. Good evening, happy Easter Sunday. good afternoon in Nairobi.
A very good afternoon to you, Doctor. Yes, it is afternoon, about 18 minutes past 2 here. Indeed, happy Easter to our viewers and the rest of the panelists, wherever they are.
Thank you very much. I want to move to Dr. Joseph Nanchama. Good afternoon in Nairobi. It is early morning here in London, 3 minutes past 11. Thank you very much. We have already resurrected. We have come out, God, Jesus. We have no doubts. We are the only station that has no doubt. We are here. Thank you. Good afternoon, Joseph.
Good afternoon, Dr. and the fellow panelists. This is 9 minutes past 2 o'clock here in Kenya. And good afternoon, my fellow panelists. I'm glad to be with you today, and good afternoon, all viewers, wherever you listen from.
Thank you very much. Across the bridge, we have Wesonga, Sean Gabriel Wesonga. Good afternoon in Nairobi, CBD.
Yes, a very, very good afternoon, Dr. Matsanga David in London. Good afternoon to Dr. Joseph Nyanchama in Kenya. Good afternoon to my colleague Miriam Ogutu and our viewers here in Kenya, Africa, and the rest of the world. Good afternoon.
Then across in Isiolo, we have none other than our great friend and internationalist, international relations expert, the man who follows my footsteps. Let's see whether he knows why Britain decided to put Kenya on the red list. Musa Abidi Haji Garma Dido from Isiolo.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Good afternoon to my brother Wesonga, fellow panelist, Dr. Nchama and Miriam. Thank you so much for having me. And to all the viewers, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The panel and more people will be joining the panel shortly. Thank you very much, Miriam. I hand over back to the studios, wherever you are in the CBD of Nairobi, the general headquarters. And we want to thank our satellite system that is transmitting us live through Berlin this afternoon. And we want to thank Stephen for doing so, wherever they are on a satellite motor system, that today we are not, Miriam is not broadcasting live, but broadcasting somewhere in her own capacity. Thank you very much. Take it away, Miriam. Tell us more about the Kenya. And I want to ask you a question. Why the lockdown is necessary? Go ahead, take it out.
And Doctor, perhaps maybe I just bring our viewers up to date with the headlines this afternoon in the major newspapers here in Kenya, and then we can get into the topic shortly. On the Sunday Nation today, the main headline there, Uhuru, the chess master. And then on the Sunday Standard, the main headline there reads, a COVID hits a church. And they have photographs there of so many church leaders who have since succumbed from COVID-19. And then on Taifa Leo, Uhuru, kopa mabilioni tena, then up there kiini cha Uhuru kubembeleza Raila. So, but we see the rest of the headlines there to do with the COVID-19. So let me just go straight to our conversation this afternoon, and we see on the lockdown, because we know right now we are on a lockdown, and the curfew hours have been reduced, and for good reason, and also the travel restrictions, especially from the counties that are disease infested, were restricted last week. And of course, Kenyans were not very happy about it, especially those who had plans to travel over Easter. So Kenya on the 26th of March imposed a new lockdown to combat the resurgence of COVID-19 in the country, and Kenya's COVID-19 positivity rate had jumped from 2% to 22% between January and March, and Nairobi accounts for nearly 60% of the cases.
Thank you very much. Nairobi accounts for the highest percentage of the cases of COVID-19. Miriam, the lockdown on 26th March imposed a new measure. new measures, positivity rate is jumped from 2% to 22%, 20% more. Nairobi accounts for nearly 60%. As you said, hospitals admission increased to 52% in the past 3 weeks, and the last 7 people dying yesterday from coronavirus. No road, rail, or transport, in or out, permitted in Nairobi, Kajiado, Kiambu, Machakos, Nakuru. Simply because we don't know who is carrying what, and where, and at what expense. In-person meetings were banned. Also, when you look at curfew starts at 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. in 5 counties. Alcohol sales in these areas were banned. The president also ordered an immediate suspension of all face-to-face teaching. Students' schools were banned, were restricted, were closed. All sporting events closed. International travel is permitted, but subject to negative test of barcodes, which was introduced. This is Africa. This is Kenya. This is not only in Kenya. Miriam, this side of the planet, it is even worse. You can't enter a restaurant and eat without a barcode on your phone. You must show the girl at the door that you have been tested or vaccinated. So those who are complaining in Kenya are useless, derailed mentally, and have a problem. Because in the United Kingdom itself, unless you have something urgent you are going to do, you have been told to sit at home. Isn't that the economy that comes us, that brings the money? Is that not a developed democracy? Is that not a first democracy in the world? People are seated at home. You in a third country, without injection, who has not got even a first dose, you want to travel between Kajiado and the mix. You want to go to church and sing hallelujah, 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 and spread the saliva. You want to do all these things. I think it is not very good at all. Even God will know that Uhuru Kenyatta has done his best. Miriam, let's bring in guidance. Let's bring in Dr. Joseph Nyachama. Dr. Joseph Nyachama, this lockdown has been criticized by so many people, especially one church leader that I hammered last week called Ambuka. But when Miriam reads the list of the church leaders who have fallen to COVID-19, we are now shocked, Miriam, that this list is long. Yesterday, 2 days ago, yes, actually yesterday, but one in the morning, in my country, Uganda, we had the worst news. One of the most respectable church leaders, Dr. Cyprian Kizito Lwanga of the Catholic Church of Uganda, after praying on Friday and Saturday and wishing people bye-bye, when he went to his bed, he went forever. A lot of tears coming out of our country, Uganda. We are still mourning the demise of our bishop, the only human rights defender who has been talking about the abuse of human rights by the government of Republic of Uganda in some aspects, and calling for tolerance and dialogue. We lost Bishop Cyprian Kizito Lwanga, the Bishop of Rubaga Diocese. May his soul rest in peace. But in Kenya, you have lost a long list of church leaders. And most of the church leaders that have gone seem to be the church leaders that were partnering up with Ruto to collect money at the church services. Jesus has risen. We are not going to tell a lie here. We speak the truth. Some of these church leaders were more hungry for money. Some of them, not all of them were died, but most of them were calling people on their platform in their churches, especially those from Muranga. We are saying, you come and spread it. And I give you the microphone. We've lost many church leaders. Dr. Joseph Nyachama, Miriam has come back. Let her conduct the entire debate. Thank you very much. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. We are experiencing some good rains here, so I had to go get my earphones so that the audio is not affected. So maybe I'll just post that question that you have posed. The restrictions and the lockdown that we are currently that is currently in place, Dr. Nyachama, from where you stand, is it necessary?
Good afternoon, viewers. Miriam and the other panelists, is very necessary. I think I've even spoken in the past. There is a maxim, I think it's written in Latin. It is called populi sublime lex. It means in English that the welfare of the people is the supreme law. There is no law. You hear lawyers and members of parliament criticizing that the president was not right, absolutely, in taking such stand measures. Because a time like this, what matters is the life and the survival of the people. That is the first cardinal responsibility of the President of the Republic of Kenya. And he has to protect the people he took out of office to do so. And I support him 100%. You hear people from churches, you hear one pastor was saying that people are getting a lot of pain. It's a very painful moment. Ask any doctor. He will tell you when somebody is feeling painful, that is a testament that is alive. I want to tell the pastor, the pain he's talking about, it is evidence that people are alive. It's better to feel painful, but protect your life. It is better Kenyans to feel painful, but they continue to live so that they are able to serve their gift at the appropriate moment. Miriam, I will say absolutely, this is the moment to focus only on needs so that we build the capacity of Kenyans, because in a nation which is reckless to protect the life of these people is not worth to be called a nation. And that is why the president took such a stand actions to protect the people. In that regard, Miriam, the lockdown is necessary. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is Dr. Joseph Nyachama. Daniel Basonga, how do you feel about this lockdown? Is it necessary?
Yes, Miriam, you remember when we first had the first lockdown, that was in March of 2020. And so many people did not agree with the president locking up the country, but later on, we came to see its significance when the rest of the world were feeling the implications of COVID-19. And therefore, I will say that right now, even though most people might not agree with the president, but you have to understand that the president has a group of experts who actually advise him on such matters. It's not just a decision which is made in oblivion. This is a decision which is well thought after, and it has been evaluated by experts, and therefore that is the best decision that the country could take. We've seen even Dr. Matsanga has told us that in London, there's no any lesser strict measures that have been put there in order to combat COVID-19. So therefore, Miriam, as we always say, is that we can revive the economy after the pandemic, but we can never reclaim and revive the lives that will be lost if we do not take these measures seriously. So therefore, according to me, the measures that have been taken by the president and the government of Kenya are quite very welcome, and they're quite appropriate in order to ensure that the numbers are not going out of control. And for heaven's sake, Miriam, at this moment is when we are having record high numbers The other time we closed down the country when we had barely hit 1,000 cases in a day. But as you can see, as per yesterday, we were almost hitting 1,500. So therefore, that tells you that there is a dire need. There is a very, very urgent need for the country to be very cautious, for us to even furthermore adhere to the measures that have been given by the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Health. So to me, Miriam, I think it is very right and it is very, very convenient for us to have these particular measures in place, including the lockdown that we have at the moment.
Okay, Daniel Wesonga, thank you so much. Musa Abdi, is it necessary, the lockdown that is currently in place?
Thank you so much, Miriam. Just to add on what Wesonga said and the fellow panelists. You know, Miriam, what we are seeing as far as, you know, this COVID-19 tragedy is concerned is that we are seeing a lot of politicization, Miriam, of the situation. And yesterday in my county, over 25 people are buried in a single cemetery, Miriam. I happened to be there. Some of those people I saw are sheikhs. Some of those people I saw are my age mates. 25 good people, Miriam, were buried in a single day in Isiolo County Cemetery. And all of them were confirmed of COVID-19 cases. So if someone is seated at a boardroom, Miriam, with food and with all available things to them, money, salary, you know, making opinion on whether to choose economy over life, Miriam, then I think that's a very big joke. Because as far as that is concerned, Miriam, there have been cases of, you know, vaccination coming in, people being vaccinated, but even vaccination is not an assurance, Miriam, that one can get really cured, Miriam, you know, from this or avoiding transmission of this pandemic. Secondly, Miriam, yesterday I read an op-ed by Dr. Gidinji, who is the head doctor for AMREF Africa, and he said, we've just started. It's going to be months from now, 4 to 5 months, 4 to 7 months from now, Miriam. And he said by May and June, that is the time we are going to see the real picture of this pandemic, whereby thousands and thousands of people going down the drain, Miriam. This is an expert speaking. But now Kenyans have chosen to hear from the politicians, Miriam, and from the experts. It's as if now you will pick William Ruto to advise me on issues of foreign policy, Miriam, and he's not an expert. Or you pick someone like Moses Kuria to speak to me about issues of national security, Miriam. It cannot get into my head. And so I will follow science, Miriam, as far as this is concerned. Even Muslim leaders have said, there is nothing like Jamia. You know, we are having the month of fasting, Miriam, 2 weeks away. Already we've started being given measures, and they have said, we are not going to joke about this. God gives us everything, but once God takes your life, you are going to meet your life on the other side of the planet. So Miriam, as far as this is concerned, our politicians, their advice and whatever they are saying is simply one thing, Miriam. These guys want rallies. Why are we lying? The likes of Wetangula, the likes of Moi, the likes of William Ruto, the likes of Musalia Mudavadi, all they want is political rallies and nothing else, Miriam. And we don't have politicians who are following science. So for heaven's sake, Miriam, and all these controversies revolving around the vaccine, my humble submission is, I don't care, Miriam, whether I will die with hunger in this house. But as long as I will not die of COVID-19, Miriam, at least even God will know that I've taken responsibility of not infecting my grandmother, of not infecting my grandfather in this house, Miriam. It is as simple as that. No too much logic. Let's protect our lives, Miriam. Economy shall come back. People survived from Great Depression of 1929 to 1931 after the First World War, Miriam. Economy came back. People survived, Japan survived from tsunami, Miriam. People came back, but COVID-19, Miriam, you remember the 1918 plague? Many people died, over 30 million people, Miriam, lives were lost. So for me, I think even more restrictions should be done, Miriam. Total lockdown, that is what I'm suggesting.
All a total. So you're even suggesting more dire restrictions in place. But Doctor, we've seen a couple of industries that have been affected, and seen some Kenyans making a lot of noise and just expressing their displeasure with this new lockdown and other measures that the government has reintroduced, that they're saying has especially affected their way of income and their way of life. And right now they just don't know what to do. So perhaps is there a way that we can still have these restrictions in place, but also minimize the impact or the consequences, so that it becomes a balance? We are safe, but also, the measures are there. Is there a way that can be done? All right, I see Jevan has joined. Perhaps Jevan, you can take on that before I go back to Doc.
Thank you very much, Miriam. And good afternoon to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. Good morning to Dr. Masanga, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, Wesonga, and Musa. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. And Miriam, I see that we are very in dire situation where the government needs to come up with more measures, Miriam, to ensure that it protects its people. That should be the first priority of the government, because every government that is there to protect. It has been given the mandate by the electorates to protect them, especially in this time of crisis. And Miriam, leaders are known on how they react in time of crisis. And I thank President Uhuru Kenyatta, because he have set an example, an exemplary example in the entire East African countries, as one leader who have come out. And in first day last year, when we reported our first case, President Uhuru Kenyatta ensured that he puts the interest of this country, the interest of Kenyans first, and he came up with very good measures, and to some extent tax exemptions, and people did very well economically. Therefore, to me, I say that the economy is still rolling, and we are still protecting ourselves. And those people who think that the economy should be reopened and we go back to operations, these are people who think maybe they benefit with these huge gatherings, they benefit in these political rallies, because Miriam, we know very well, some of these political parties, the politicians mobilize some few youths who get some coins here and there. And these politicians, some of them are not relevant unless they go to these political rallies. And that is why you see that they are still agitating for more room to be open so that they can carry on out with their business. But we know very well, these huge gatherings, this uncontrolled movement of people is what is causing and which has caused us to be where we are today. If in first place, when you had the second wave, if people behaved well, Miriam, we could not be here where we are today. Therefore, it is high time that every Kenyan takes a personal responsibility and realizes that your life is your personal life. And if it happens to be lost through COVID-19, no one will reset it back. But if our economy goes down, Miriam, we can reset our economy. We can go back and revamp our economy, even to be a giant economy in East Africa with the right policies. And President Uhuru Kenyatta has proved beyond any doubt that he have the right policies to ensure that he takes this country to the next level. You see, Miriam, and this is a question that I have. These guys were asking for more room to be opened, all these measures to be revoked. I really don't understand, because to some extent, Miriam, most of our duties, we do them during the day. And when we have curfews from 8 p.m. in the restricted areas, therefore people can squeeze their schedules, they can squeeze their routines and ensure they have something to eat, because we are not in a total lockdown. We are in a partial lockdown. Therefore, our business are still rolling. Whether we are getting something small, it's enough to sustain us as we go through this jungle, and finally we go out there successfully. Therefore, I feel like the president should ensure that the measures that are in place, they should not be done away with, but they should be applied and made sure that all Kenyans follows to the letter. And in terms of economic recovery, Kenyans should be given a room as it is now to continue doing their business. Therefore, I don't think a total lockdown can do better, because as we are doing, Miriam, the economy is still rolling, farmers still doing on with their business. And I think it's only few people, Miriam, who see a reason to criticize the government, who feel like the President Uhuru Kenyatta is not doing bad. And if he happens to reopen and things go bad and things go haywire, they will continue criticizing them. Therefore, to some extent, people will continue talking, and it's high time that the president shuts his ears to these noisemakers and concentrates on his duty that we gave him and the mandate to deliver prosperity to Kenyans. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. It appears President Uhuru Kenyatta there has truly a very delicate balance to ensure Kenyans are safe and also to balance the economic effects that some of these measures might have on some Kenyans. So you've talked about the travel restriction that is in place, but also there is an industry that has been hard hit, and that is the hospitality industry, and especially the restaurants. Since some of those restrictions were lifted, I've been able to go to a few restaurants, and the few that I went to actually observed these measures. They reduced the amount of tables, or they had in the dining halls, and so you were able to actually social distance. And so there are those who kept these measures and adhere to these measures by the government, and there are those that flaunted these measures. And now even those who are able to adhere to these measures, they're getting affected, because right now the new restriction that was introduced is you cannot go sit at a restaurant and eat. Instead, you carry your food and you leave, which has in effect affected that industry so much. So, Doctor, is there a way that we could still have these restrictions in place, but at the same time ease some of this to ensure that for those who will comply, to ensure that not everybody suffers because of the rest, and also just to reduce the consequences, just to minimize the effects of some of these restrictions? Is there a possibility?
Let me ask one question, Miriam. Mm-hmm. What do you go to the restaurant to do?
I've gone a couple of times to eat.
Yes. So if you are doing takeaway, are you not eating? No, honestly. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. If you have the same stuff, a takeaway, advertise your takeaway. This is the time for people to eat your takeaway, and you will get more money. Do you know how people are thriving now? KFC, Galitos in Nairobi. The research there, which has been brought to my desk in where I am in London. Galitos, KFC, the applications are busy. People are ordering food to their homes. So you go to a restaurant to eat. You don't go to the restaurant to gossip. The people who are going to the restaurant, who are complaining that open them, these are lazy people. I'll tell you how lazy they are. Yesterday, Miriam, on our show, I told you of a gentleman who has been accosting me and parasiting me for almost 20 years. Whenever I reach Nairobi, this gentleman wears a tie every time. He's in a suit, but he doesn't work anywhere. He tells me he works somewhere there. But this guy sits in Intercontinental Hotel from morning up to evening. In this restaurant, talking to every MP who comes in from Parliament, collecting 500, 1,000, 2,000 shillings, 200. By the time he goes home, if you close a restaurant and a hotel today, you will kill that man. But what production is he to the nation? He only gets money by begging MPs and yourself, a guest who has come from London. That is the truth. What is a restaurant? You go to the restaurant to eat. Is then the food reaching you where you are and you are safe with your children? If you are 10 people and you want to go and celebrate a birthday, you can order for 10 pieces of whatever meal you want from C&J, from Wilton Hotel, from Stanley Hotel, from Kempinski. They have now motorbikes that run and deliver you your steak. It comes when it is bubbly. It is delivered to you. In London here, we are ordering food from McDonald's, KFC, biggest in the central city. Oxford Street. They are running with motorbikes, it's delivered, it's still hot. This is going to be with us for a long time. The people of Kenya must begin to do one thing, to find another way of feeding their stomachs without sitting in the hotels and the restaurants. Yes, there is a question of employment. How many people are losing employment? Apart from the waitress who serve, who end up bringing more confusion and more COVID. You see, we have cut off COVID by interaction of waitress. We have only core staff in the restaurants, in the backyard, in the kitchen. But when you have this waitress, some people come to watch the waitress. He wants to wait until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Then you say, can we go? These are hard facts. And we should tell them to the people. Yes, social life has been dismembered. Yes, but is it for the good? I submit. It is for the good media. It is better to close, to be strict, like in Britain. You can't enter any restaurant. You cannot enter any pub. And you start sipping that pint. That you give me a pint. They say, your code. Code. Barcode. There is a lady coming to you, say barcode before I serve you. Because your smartphone will automatically attract her smartphone. And they will know you are vaccinated. You can sit with your mask. Here, people are just shouting at Uhuru Kenyatta because he's now the only weakest link that everybody wants to shout at Uhuru Kenyatta in Kenya. If Uhuru Kenyatta left this state to have 200 bodies per day, God forbid. If there were 200 bodies per day, how do Kenyans turn on Uhuru Kenyatta to say how bad he is? If Uhuru Kenyatta behaved like a Magufuli and said, go ye, pray to God, God, yet God said, I help those who help themselves first. Wouldn't people turn on Uhuru Kenyatta? If Uhuru Kenyatta allowed SOPs to be rubbished, wouldn't the people start talking about Uhuru Kenyatta? If Kenyatta allowed people to mix in matatus, in transport, wouldn't they be dismembering his name, belittling his name? They would be doing so. Now he has done it. When you do it, you are bad. When you don't do it, you are bad. He's caught in a place where people dismember his name. Why is Uhuru Kenyatta's name dismembered? And Miriam, I want to calm down because Jesus was born, was killed,
resurrected today. Absolutely. All right.
I want to talk the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Uhuru Kenyatta is dismembered because of a stupid vice president. Deputy president is stupid. Very bad man. He refused. The man refused this whole program of Uhuru Kenyatta on COVID-19. You remember? You remember when he went and read the same speech in his own current house? Miriam, do you remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Last year. You
Absolutely.
know Kenyans
Yes.
forget so easily. But they don't record. They are good at insulting you. Kenyan is on Twitter for you people who greet this guy. Polonium 210 is real now. It could be real in Kenya. And I'm warning the Kenyan agencies. Where Russians come, there is always polonium 210. And it is going to happen. Don't think Matanga tells a lie. Be careful shaking hands with these guys. Some of them have this polonium 210. They are put on your chairs. Polonium 210 needs to be put on your car. When you go to walk out and open your car, You are no more. You see a man getting dressed in a Russian tie, in a Russian attire, with his wife dressed in Russian attire from their socks and other inners in Russian. They are plotting to finish people here. If you are not careful, you will tell me tomorrow. Don't tell me, don't call me, but I'm warning you. Polonium 210 will destroy people here. It is going to be bought at the expense of being a president. Someone wants to be a president, even if it means finishing the current lot of all these people. Someone at all costs. We know very well the Russian hegemony studies. Shut up! Threaten Uhuru. Threaten Uhuru. Shut up, you know anything. The mere wearing of your shirt, Miriam, in the colors of Russia, you have caused Kenya a problem. I'm a Pan-African. I've lived in these people for 36 years. I've lived in Britain for 36 years. Ruto only knew Britain in 1992, when I had already lived there. When he became white kid, 92, stealing people's things. Never knew Britain. I have been in Britain for 36 years. The moment you wear as an insignia of an empire, even the man who owns Chelsea Football Club, he is monitored by over 40 MI5 special agents to see which woman he loves, to see whom he's talking to see which business he's doing, how much money is banking. Yet he has brought investment. And you, in a third world country, Miriam, you are blaming Uhuru from morning up to evening. You call Uhuru my boss, but when you reach a certain place, you call him a devil. You are bringing your country to a red list. Your country was not on a red list. I was telling you last week that if things go like the way they are going, Kenya will become part of the red list. Was I a wrong man? Call me a foreigner. I don't mind. But I'm not an African who is a foreigner. I'm an African who is an East African. I did not choose to be born in Uganda. If I had to ask to be born, I would have asked to be born near Malaba border across in Malakisi, where I would be speaking the same rights like that Kwagamaya Ruto. You know, I am telling you, this is a man who is going to destroy this country. If you people are keeping quiet, I know how devilish he is. I know his plans. Ruto only knows money laundering, but he doesn't know international relations. You, in a shirt of the colors of Russians, take a medicine, and the embassy of Britain is here, watching you as a deputy president, taking medicine with your wife, while the other free medicine, President Uhuru Kenyatta is taking it with the cabinet. You have touched the darker forces. I don't know where Kirim is. You know what the darker forces are? Ruto talks about the deep state. They are darker forces. If you know international relations, Mr. Ruto, mark the word darker forces. They will frustrate you. Even this presidency you are looking for, you not get it. You have openly, violently crossed their territory. This territory, don't hide to tell the truth. Don't we still have land here which is owned by British Medium? How much land here is owned by the British? Honestly, tell the truth. Any land you want to buy, you have to talk to the British. They own it. Then you say it is, I'm bringing Russia medicine here. My friend, they will come for you. They will frustrate you. And let Ruto hear me. I am not against him. I'm telling him through experience. We have had coups in Uganda because someone just said, we want Zimbabwe and Tanzania to be liberated. Dr. Joseph Obote was overthrown. Obote was overthrown in 1971 when I was having a metallic box on the same day, entering senior secondary school 1 in Manjasa School. My father, who was being looked by the troops, threw me on a road to carry the suitcase to arrive at the senior secondary school alone. The same day when Obote was overthrown, because Obote was a pro-Russian and a Marxist. He was overthrown by the British government. Period. Edward Heath overthrew Obote. He did not say, he did not miss his words. He did not care who was Idi Amin. They installed Idi Amin. Until Idi Amin started eating them, cutting their flesh, throwing them in the river, is when the British turned around. And I'm speaking this from the experience, which I believe I've touched on the second topic. It is therefore important for President Uhuru Kenyatta to make sure that he makes the stand very clear. This thing is not a joke. You cannot, look, Russia is a member of WHO. WHO has not sanctioned the vaccine we are using here. WHO, why has it not? The CDC Africa warned Kenya against using Sputnik, whatever you call it, Sputnik medicine.
Sputnik, yes.
Sputnik. It warned the CD Africa. But because Ruto has got a cartel, a mechanism, a laundering system of mafia, he brought this medicine together with his rich people. Now you see the mess we are in. 2 days after the display of these colors of Russia, we ended on a red district light, red list. Kenyans are not seeing that. Some are jumping to say, the Foreign Affairs Ministry is hitting back. What will you hit back with? We need our plane to go to London. What will you do? You want a plane which you are, a Kenya Airways, you are reviving here. A Kenya Airways, you are reviving here. You need money. You also want to hit. How will you hit them? How? They don't care. They are paying, you know, in Britain, they are paying universal suffering for every tax household. Are you paying universal suffering for everybody in Kenya? I'm asking, I'm talking from the experience. Anybody in United Kingdom has been paid what they call universal tax, universal payment, where households with less income have been given some money to survive. Are we having it here, Miriam? Do you have anybody in Kenya receiving a check because of the household of COVID-19? So you are reiterating, you need these flowers to go to Britain. Britain can do without other flowers and look for flowers everywhere. It can receive flowers through another country where you are exporting them. So let's have dialogue. Let the Minister of Foreign Affairs begin with dialogue, not talking on top of the roof. Let them sit down with the British government. Let them talk to the ambassador. What went wrong? The vice president, the deputy president, part of the presidency, showed very bad manners when he knows there is a Cold War. They know it's a Cold War. You cannot put, even Russia and England are playing. They can play and laugh on the field. But when they reach inside the dressing room, they box each other. And then you bring this enmity to a country called Kenya, which needs to trade. Miriam, if you look at the list of the countries, because I'm about to leave, so to surrender so that you can, other people can come in to contribute. Let me mention the list. Angola, Botswana, Burundi, Cape Verde, DRC, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, South Africa, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. What does it come in your mind immediately you finish reading that list?
Doctor, the last time I checked, these countries had the, is it Sputnik V vaccine? Yes. The last I checked, yes.
That's all. That's all. Who is very stupid in this country? Who cannot see international relations? And telling me you can allow the spin this stupid, what is it called? Spinning, what is it? What medicine is
Sputnik.
called? Sputnik.
Sputnik V, yes.
Sputnik V. You allow it to come in your country to destroy your good relationship with people who buy your flowers. Look at the countries I've mentioned. Let me repeat them. Angola, Botswana, Burundi, Cape Verde, Democratic Republic of Congo, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Kenya, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, and Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe. All these countries have this Russian importation that went around. They have all been blacklisted, apart from the man across the bridge. You know, at times give Museveni credit. Museveni has lived longer against imperialism. He knows how to play his cards. You know, at times Museveni lies down on the stomach and even they dance on his stomach. Eh? Dido, you're a student of international relations. Doesn't Museveni do that? Museveni lies down. You're asking me why Museveni has never been overthrown. Can I tell you why? If you want to know. You know why? He's an Anglican from the Queen's church. And I want to tell you today, you people on the panel, there is no Catholic who will lead Uganda as long as the Queen is available. Did you want to know that, the truth today? Do you want to know? Because people need to know. There are some people who make stupid statements. You will not read. You can't read Uganda if you are not not Anglican. They would rather take Idi Amin, a Muslim, but they will not give Bob Wine, even if he swings himself and drowns in Lake Victoria. He will not. They will appoint Bob Wine as a deputy president. I swear today Jesus has gone upstairs. I've been there. I've been there. And I know. So if Bob Wine is listening, let him listen to me. Let him just keep quiet and let people start having Release all these boys who have been arrested. Let them go home and start working. We plan for 2026, but there will be no Catholic who will lead Uganda. There are people who are talking in the toilet. I've told you. Challenge me if you have any facts. Wewe, jaribu. You go to Britain and try to ask for asylum and put on your paper Catholic. You'll see what you'll be told. But you put there Musa Haji from Somalia. Watakupatia upesi. Yeah. And those who are listening, whether security officer or what, listen to me. Let me tell you today. I have studied the system. I have studied this system for 36 years. I know the system, how it works. And that's why you see me keeping quiet about Uganda. Some people insult me. I'm telling you. I can give you examples of presidents who are Catholics, who are finished. Where is Mugabe? Where is Mugabe? I want the panel to tell me, where is Mugabe? Where is he? The British hammered him sanctions. Where is Santos? He's facing what? Where is Mr. Kabila? What is he facing? Rape activities? Where is Magufuli? Why did they hate him so much? What did he do? Yeah, chunga nyenye. Is there anybody helping Nyusi? Why Nyusi is not being helped? Are those rebels not real? The terrorists, ISIS, the Al-Shabaab in northern, in Pemba and Pama, are they not real? Why are they not helping him?
They are very real.
Tell me. Chakwera, tell me, how did he get there? Tell me if Chakwera is part of his Mlinyalia party, the normal and normal Yom Tukuf. Amen. Today, Jesus has risen. Let's talk the truth. In Uganda, even if you work, Mr. Bob Wine, you will not get it. They will not give you. The least you can have is the deputy president called, say, that man who sleeps in while the speech is starting. That, what is his name? Sekandi. Look at all the deputy presidents in our country. All of them have been Catholics. I can name them for you. Suppose here, Kazibwe, Bukenya. Who was Bukenya? A Catholic. Suppose here, Kazibwe, a Catholic. Sekandi, a Catholic. Let's go on. Let's go on. I tell you the truth. What would they are bidding? What? You can't manage. My first paper in the University of London Guildhall on my brother typewriter was the crisis of Northern Ireland. I wrote, I passed, I enjoyed, I danced. Even Madame, the late Benazua Buto, said, "Why are you dancing so hard?" I said, "Madame, I did not know that I would pass, having come from as a refugee to come and study and write on a subject of reconciliation. I asked cardinal questions. Why would the mainland Britain hate Northern Ireland? It was religious. Simple. The problem went deeper. It was not a question of there was no enough food, there was no enough money. No, it was religion. It distanced the Northern Ireland versus the mainland. The IRA, Irish Republican Army, is dominantly Catholic, and it stood on its own to fight the Protestant-dominated Ireland. So tell me if Matanga is wrong, and you say that you insult me, Have you read even anything, anywhere? Tell me, Miriam. There was when I entered the UK, there were bombs. You could sit in a restaurant and a bomb, the building comes down. And you run. The IRA has come to bomb, like Al-Shabaab is doing in Mogadishu with the stupid quanker called Farmajo. Take it from me, my people. Take it from me, my family.
Actually, it all started with Kedong massacre. I think you can remind us that one also.
So when you look at Musa, it's a longer story. We better bring it here, because if you are playing and Mr. Ruto plays with things that can trigger a very big war, the British will never forgive you for wearing that shirt and taking a medicine when they have paid the World Health Organization to give you a free medicine, which is enjoyed by your president. Why did Ruto choose to belittle the president? Why? Be careful about polonium 210. Miriam, I submit.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much. And yesterday, when we were having this conversation in the evening, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a statement. I'll just read a part of it. And they're saying the decision by the United Kingdom will have deep and far-reaching consequences on Kenya, United Kingdom trade, travel, tourism, and security cooperation. The decision is particularly disturbing in light of the fact that the United Kingdom and Kenya enjoy a strong and long-lasting relationship embedded in a strategic partnership that has multiple dimensions, including health, education, security, travel, trade, and people-to-people relations. Furthermore, and equally disturbing, this unilateral decision does not reflect prevailing logic and scientific knowledge of the disease or the spread of the pandemic. Rather, the decision seems to be motivated by discriminatory policy against certain countries and people. So what I hear Kenya here to be saying is that Britain, you went ahead and made this decision and you did not care to engage with us or give us a heads up and perhaps engage us fast before you went on and made this decision. And so Kenya, we'll see further what Kenya said yesterday, but Kenya feels, you should have told us fast before you went on and, gave this temporary restriction measures. I don't know, how do you feel, Dr. Nyanchama, about Kenya's position on this matter?
Okay, thank you very much, Miriam. For me, I usually work from a maxim. I say, do not pick the quarrel when the gun is loaded. Do not pick the quarrel when the gun is loaded. I think we had discussed earlier, Miriam, that diary was going to be the predominant course of action. I think the statement was also to respond maybe from the outcry of Kenyans. And you see the ministry has also to respond equally with the forceful tone so that Kenyans see, I think they bring down the temperatures from the outcry. You saw there were a lot of outcries, but I think you see in their communication, they have said that they have a long trading relationship, and they received with great surprise for their action, meaning that there was no effective consultation between the two countries. And that one gives life to what Dr. is saying. Maybe they were piqued highly by the issue of the other vaccine from the East. I think there were some emotions there. For me, the issue, as we had said, is that Lady Dowry be given a chance, because usually when sensitive statements are made, the higher you are. I usually say that the higher up the tree, the thinner the branches. When you hold a higher responsibility, like the Ministry does of Foreign Affairs, statements must be weighed very carefully. Given that, we were once a colony of Britain. Dr. There used to be earlier, before independence, the people used to sing songs like Britannia, 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 rule the waves. The Britons shall never be defeated. Live long the Queen. Live long and continue to rule over us. You remember? That particular ego is still with the British. In their minds, they take us to be junior. And in fact, this one needs to be the eye-opener to the African countries. Let us begin to develop our various nations. You can now see the statement the Minister of Foreign Affairs issued. The Britain unilaterally banned without consultation. Means still they have the colonial mentality that we are slaves. They used to, we sing the couplet pledges to the monarchy at that time. They still seem to be suffering from the hangover. All said and done, Miriam, I think consultations need to be done and give Dara a chance. That is my position. And secondly, there is an issue about the restaurants, which I never commented on, which I wish to take advantage of my chance here. You see, the president only said clients should not go and sit in the restaurants. He never prevented them to follow where the clients are. Did he? Tell me, Miriam, how many restaurants, even you have gone to a restaurant 3 times. How many restaurants have registered their customers? Tell me. Do you know why Kenya Railways collapsed? Because they thought they were in railway business. Kenya Railways was never in railway business. They were in transport business. If they knew they were in transport business, Kenya Airways could be a subsidiary of Kenya Railways. All of these buses traveling all routes could be subsidiaries of Kenya Railways. But because they thought they were in railway business, they were caught, pants down.
Flat-footed. Okay. I hear you.
My point?
I hear you, Dr. I hear you.
I want to tell the restaurants from today, let them learn from this pandemic. Register all the clients who come to eat in your hotel.
Exactly.
So that when they don't feast you, you send the waiters to follow them. And there are thousands in a year. By now, they should be sending all the employees to follow the clients. Why should the clients come? Let it be in a reciprocal way. That's what the president was saying. Now they should not come, but I don't prevent you from following them. Take them food where they are. Even you should not wait them to come and take away. Hey, Miriam, let the restaurant owners give us a break. I want to end and submit by saying, whether you spill the milk, that is not the problem, so long as you don't lose the cow. The president wants to protect the cow. The milk may be spilled, but once the cow is protected, you can milk it again. I submit, Miriam.
All right, the cow is protected. I don't know if Daniel or Javid is there, but what we hear the government of Kenya saying is that the UK did not bother to consult with Kenya before it made this decision, and so we saw how Kenya, responded to that. So
let me correct something here. UK did not consult with Kenya. Let's be balanced. The British High Commission has an embassy here. They have intelligence officers who might not be seen as intelligence officers. Or they have attaches, they collect intelligence information. You have given a license to import. Those people know. Tuambiane ukweli, Miriam. Let's not use lame excuses of this nature. Let's help the president to understand the truth. You have given the president information that we have 2 out of 100 people, 3, if you measure 100, you'll only find 3 who are COVID-free. My friend Dr. Joseph is an inspirational speaker. That if you measure out of 100 Kenyans, 3 will only pass the test. So what are you talking to? Whom are you talking to? You have given the president that information, isn't it? We should have paraphrased our language. How to deal with such international matters. Paraphrase your language.
But
wait.
What?
You will pick a point here. Because you have already put data on, you have already sent data to WHO. Our data to WHO. If your blood for COVID, if your sample for COVID goes for test, Miriam, they don't have your name, Masanga. Are you all right? Do you agree with me? You agree with me? There is no COVID test that goes in the system saying, written there, Dr. Masanga. They write the serial number, which is the hospital will bring. Because people would just go and change. Miriam will take mine, and the doctor, if we know, knowing this Africa, they will change your test to my test. And you go, because you are a big man. So what they have done, once they take your sample, they don't write your name. It is the serial number on the tube. So when these results come out, it is only the hospital and the Ministry of Health that knows that that was for Mohammed, or that was for Haji, or Wesonga, or Miriam. So it is not known to anybody. So why do you come to publish your results to the people where you are trading your merchandise? They will sit down and say, so the situation is so hard, it's bad. Out of 103 people only can pass the test. And these people are climbing a plane to go to London. They will come and cut you down. 2, the import and the export regulations are very clear. the Ministry of Health works with WHO. The CDC, Center for Disease in Africa.
Control.
Yes, disease control. What did it tell Kenya? Don't beat about the bush. People are not telling the president the truth. The center warned you. It is AU. It is African Union Center. Center for Disease Control in Africa warned you. Who is in this center? Intelligence agencies. Isn't it? So when you make an application, where does it go, Miriam? Doesn't it pass through this? The British will pick it. Yes, the British Intelligence Foreign Office will pick it and say, these guys are now, we are even paying money for another 4 million doses to arrive in Kenya, while Kenya is buying another vaccine and not only using it for free, but selling it for 20,000 Kenya shillings, whatever the price is. Miriam, and I have called you 6 times, Miriam, my sister. No country will keep quiet.
It has everything to do with the Sputnik V.
Yes, Kenya has done so well. Kenya has done so well. Kenya has done so well on SOP. The blame should go to Dr. William Samoei Ruto and the group. If the government is not listening, they will cry one of these days very badly. It is that action, and I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, Jesus resurrected today. It is that action of Ruto coming out, taking an injection in a Russian shirt that has provoked the British to slam us into, and it will soon take us out. Anyway, now that we have stopped the medicine, you will see Britain announcing the ban is lifted. It is that shirt. That is the Russian flag. Ruto wearing a Russian flag, taking a vaccine, showing the British you are stupid. You think they cannot act? No, you think, Miriam, they cannot act? You are in Britain. Then you go to Queen to see the Queen with a Russian shirt. The security will pull you out and throw you this way first. You come later on. There's that natural hatred between Russians and the British. It is there for Cold War since 1945. You can't do away with it. Musa will tell you, anybody will tell you. For you to come and display this type of stupidity with your coffee, with white teeth in front of everybody, thinking you are doing something to pay Uhuru Kenyatta and Mutahi Kagwe, you are killing the nation. Ruto killed the nation. Ruto caused this. And Amam Namwamba should be removed from this ministry. I talk my mind. If I were President Uhuru Kenyatta, I would shuffle Amama Namwamba to be taken somewhere else. He is the main cause. He is the main funder who the letter that authorized for that medicine to be brought. Who wrote that letter? Who signed that letter? Who sanctioned that letter? You cannot go to Russia and buy medicine and load in a vehicle and in a plane and arrive here. Who sanctioned the letter? The government should start soul searching so that in the future, they don't get into trouble. Look at all these countries. All the countries that have been sanctioned have got Sputnik, have I pronounced it properly this time? Sputnik 5V in their country. And they don't care. They are rogue states. But Kenya is not a rogue state. Why is Uganda not listed? I want to leave you with this question. Answer me. Museveni is very clever on international relations. He pays the people who give him real international advice. This country does not pay people who give them international advice. Everybody in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says they know. I swear in the name of God, and I'm swearing it today. Those who are my friends, listen to me. I'm giving you real advice. I'm not giving you lies. I don't hate you, but I'm telling you, time has come for you to pay for people who can give you advice on international relations. This thing of bravado, saying that each one knows, PS says he knows, Minister says he knows. They don't know. Who allowed this medicine to be imported here? Miriam, can you tell me who? Maybe you have even closer sources in Nairobi. Who allowed this medicine? I leave it to the rest of you.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel Wesonga. All right, Jevan Karanja.
Yes.
And before Jevan Karanja comes, let me read the countries. I am being challenged by Dennis Limo, another sycophant, a TT, a Tanga microphone, who knows zero, who has never gone to school. Let me list to you the countries that have been listed. Angola, Botswana, Burundi, Cape Verde, Democratic Republic of Congo, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. So you stupid man, tell me what you are talking about. If you really know anything, and you go on, littering our wall with no sense. We are not liars. We are telling you. France can use the medicine from Russia. France is equal to Britain. Are you equal to Britain? Are you equal to Britain? We are still begging for loans from Britain. We are still selling our commodities from Britain. France can decide to sell its own commodities. That is the point I'm making. Why is it that Uganda is not listed on the group? Because Uganda has not allowed the sale of this stupid Russian medicine. The CDC, which is AU, African Unity, has said Ruto erred to take this medicine openly. And I'm now telling it, you louding, but because you think Ruto is a messiah. The messiah is the only one who was just resurrected today, not Ruto. He will not resurrect. He's still the same one of 1992, stealing things and conning people with the T-shirts. So he has never changed from the habit. You give him the presidency, he will even sell the State House a local book.
Yes, yes, Miriam. So as I come in, I believe that whatever Dr. Matsanga says has a lot of weight on this. And you could all remember that when we first had the first COVID case in Wuhan and the virus started spreading across the world, you saw the US through Donald Trump pull out in funding the World Health Organization. And in that regard, you saw China now coming in and even doubling the funding that it was given to the World Health Organization. So that somehow portrayed a struggle between the world superpowers, and this is something that really culminates into the Cold War. And therefore, we cannot argue about this case while we negate the fact that the Cold War is still at play. And in this regard, as Dr. Matsanga says, the deputy president is number 2 in terms of command in this country, and he represents the presidency, which is under the constitution, the office of the president. So if a deputy president can be perceived as someone who is promoting a vaccine which the World Health Organization has refused to give a nod for the rest of the world to use, while Britain, through its vaccine AstraZeneca, is also trying to give the country their production of vaccine, then this actually brings in conflicts of interests, and that could have, in a bigger way, triggered this kind of stalemate that we're having with our former allies, the UK. So to me, Miriam, I think it has everything to do with the Cold War, which is happening right now, and you can see that Britain is uncomfortable with countries which are seen to cascade towards the Russians, and that can be seen through the analysis that Dr. Matsanga has read out to you. You can see the countries which have been put on the red list, all one way or another, have shown some very close alliance to the Russians, and that does not go well with the Britain. So I think that should be the basis of this melee that we're having.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel. Musa, what's your opinion on that?
Thank you so much, Miriam. I would like to begin with the famous illusion word of Lord Mountbatten, who was once the Prince of Wales, when he said it's only in United Kingdom when the empire, the sun never sets. But as we are now speaking, Miriam, it's all over for United Kingdom. And the last nail to hit the casket was Brexit, Miriam. We need to live with the reality. I know United Kingdom tried its best, Miriam, in post-World War II, when Winston Churchill tried to live in that illusion. Indeed, they are the naval superpowers of this country and of the global community, Miriam, and it was never the reality, as he saw Dwight Eisenhower, Miriam, when they were planning for military maneuver in Normandy, telling face off with the representative from the United Kingdom, General Montgomery, that United States of America is in charge, Miriam. And all this has been happening. Margaret Thatcher tried this and she failed. Tony Blair, we shall never forget that person for his role in Iraq. He failed terribly also. And so, Miriam, there comes in, issues of geopolitics, that there shall only be one hegemon, Miriam. During the time of medieval world, it was Rome, Miriam. After Rome, the Turkish came and went, Miriam. They never were superpowers. Now the current hegemon we have, Miriam, was back then the Soviet Union in 1940s and 1930s and 1950s and 1970s. And then in 1990, Miriam, America came. The only true hegemon in the world is America now. So the United Kingdom should know, Miriam, that it is not a superpower. It is a bipolar country. Its decisions can be overturned. And that is the reason why, Miriam, United Kingdom is frustrated with what is happening in Europe, whereby now their post-Brexit situation is really griming on them, Miriam, whereby they are busy trying to desperately call back Commonwealth countries and re-establishing their trade deals with their former colonies. Because as we are now speaking, Angela Merkel, the European Union, the European Commission, the European Parliament, they have said the deal we are going to give Britain is as raw as it is. We are not going to add anything. We are not going to subtract anything. For you to work in United Kingdom, Miriam, once Brexit is finalized, you are going to have a license. Dr. Matsanga will agree with me on that. And now they know the only country they can now pounce on and take advantage and weakness upon are their former Commonwealth countries. All those countries mentioned, Miriam, I can see exemption with the likes of Angola and Rwanda, but all others are truly Commonwealth nations. And I see a lot of, desperation coming from United Kingdom as far as this is concerned, Miriam. And it's in our, belief that, Miriam, what Fidel Castro did, and Daktari touched about non-aligned movements, and I'm saddened to say that non-aligned movement in Africa died with the likes of Julius Kambarage Nyerere, is that, Miriam, what we are now seeing is that United Kingdom is trying to reassert its influence, Miriam, in these colonial countries. Miriam. Remember the other day, Dr. Matsanga knows Uhuru Kenyatta gave a 25-year tax exemption opportunity, Miriam, to United Kingdom under the leadership of, Boris Johnson, on how they can, re-strategize with African countries. Miriam, as
Parliament, I think, debated on that. They had to review those terms, and so that has since changed. Parliament was not very happy about that.
Miriam, for your information, I wish Javan could have been here. The largest military training infantry outside United Kingdom, Miriam, is in Nanyuki, is in Isiolo, the Batuk, the British Army training unit. They are busy training on our, hills and on our mountains in Isiolo, Miriam. And to make it, even more harder thing, look at the conservation community, the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, the Olpejeta Wildlife Conservancy. All these are run by Britons. And now they have forgotten, Miriam, that sometimes, yet you are superpower, a naval superpower once in your country, Miriam, you cannot come with such kind of conditions. For the first time in infamy, Miriam, Kenya can seek for loans without conditions from China. We don't have a problem. Kenya can seek for grants, Miriam, without conditionalities for you to be told you must recognize gays and lesbians. No. Countries are getting loans without conditions. So my humble submission to United Kingdom, Miriam, it's a shame that they are grading in the same levels with Somalia. They are grading Kenya in the same level with the likes of Somalia and Angola, Miriam. It's so unfortunate. We are far much doing better things than those countries, Miriam. And going, the list is endless. Go to investment, Miriam, and media. The largest bureau outside United Kingdom, the BBC, is in Kenya, Miriam, is in Nairobi. The largest bureau for BBC outside United Kingdom. Actually, the largest embassy, Miriam, again, outside United Kingdom in Africa. They are just finalizing on their infrastructure there at Upper Hill, Miriam. And so when someone is so unilateral and, breaking out and, discussing a lot of things without much negotiation, it's something which is not called for, Miriam. And finally, Kenya signed a defect policy and defect pact with the United Kingdom on counterterrorism, Miriam. Actually, a good number of counterterrorism experts from United Kingdom are being trained in Kenya, Miriam, with the help of Mossad and National Intelligence Service. We are giving them that pragmatic and practical situation on how they can counter issues of counterterrorism, Miriam, at home. And so we're now everything. And let me tell you one thing. Gone are the days of Henry IV. Gone are the days of Edward V. Gone are the days of Henry VIII. We are dealing with Queen Elizabeth, and it's almost a ceremonious monarchy, Miriam. It is not as strong as it used to be. I think the last time people were really mesmerized by United Kingdom monarchy was the time of Princess Diana, Miriam, and we no longer have that shine and sheen of the Westminster Abbey, Miriam. And so United Kingdom, they should revise their foreign policy, Miriam, the way other countries are doing so. What has made Denmark to be the darling of foreign policy in Kenya? The Danida, the Danish, Miriam. What they are doing in this country, they are realigning their foreign policy with Kenya. They are realigning everything they want to do with the Kenyan government. The other day, even President Uhuru Kenyatta recognized the levels Danida is really playing, Miriam, as far as contributing to research and development in this country is concerned. So my humble submission, Miriam, Dr. said one thing about vaccine. The largest producer of this vaccine is AstraZeneca, the vaccines that is Oxford sponsored, Miriam. And there is nothing as stupid as I will call, as an international relations student, as a deputy president, who cannot see and understand the foreign policy alignment of its nation, Miriam. When we say of foreign policy, when Mike Pence, Miriam, Donald Trump said, I'm going to open an embassy in Tel Aviv, Mike Pence never shouted. When Donald Trump, the madman, said, I'm going to drop a drone in Iran and the state of Hormuz, Mike Pence never shouted, Miriam. And all these, Miriam, culminating all this and understanding what William Ruto has done, that was a big mistake. We might blame United Kingdom for this, but that was a big mistake as far as our sovereignty is concerned. Miriam establishing a relation with Russia, for you to establish a relation with Russia as we are now speaking, you must be a warlord. You must be someone who understands the transaction of weaponry, the transaction of counterterrorism issue, the transaction of human trafficking. Daktari knows the business which is being carried in Kremlin by that man called Putin. The other day, Biden has talked with the Ukraine counterpart that Russia now want to annex another part beyond Crimea. That is the Putin we are handling. And it is as if you are delusioned that a president has decided to name a vaccine after one of the largest satellites, Miriam, in Cold War era. The name is Sputnik. People remember it in their Cold War times. So my humble submission, Miriam, is the deputy president is being misadvised. Even the international community is watching. They are saying, is this man have the honor and the humility to lead this country called Kenya? Definitely, the answer is no, Miriam, and so be it. So my humble submission is, Ken should rethink that for the first time in history, Miriam, Kenya has the bargaining chip against the United Kingdom because of what United is going through in Brexit, because of what United Kingdom is going through in terms of budget cuts, Miriam, and so be it in all other Commonwealth issues. These issues should be revisited, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. A lot of issues that you've touched on. Of course, we agreed yesterday that move by Deputy President was a diplomatic blunder on his part. But this, the letter that Kenya wrote to the UK through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kenya feels disrespected. Does Kenya has a right to feel disrespected? Daktari Nyanchama.
Miriam, to one extent, I want to balance this debate. Musa is a student of international relations. I mark international relations exams and I pass him. I now want to tell him that there is one word in international relations called protectionism. Isn't it so, Musa?
It is, Dr.
The policy of protectionism. It is like your territory. It can bring a war. You like it or not. You can't just go, for example, to North Korea and start hitting North Korea, beating that short man there. Just slap him, slap him. China will come for you. It's a policy of protectionism. China will bring up and will chase America in that sea and they will kill each other. That's why you see North Korea, that short man who eats snakes, is still eating his snakes. Because it's a delicacy in Pyongyang. Pyongyang, you have to eat a snake. I have ever eaten one. In 1983, when we went with Dr. Milton Obote on a visit. So don't ask me that what was wrong. We drank it in a wine snake wine is the delicacy of North Korea and South Korea. If you go to a dining room, a restaurant in South Korea, and you ask for wine, they will ask you the one with the snake. It will come, it is inside there. And they open and you pour it on the test. Now, Miriam, Musa, East or West, when Britain leads on you, others follow. And I'm repeating this. When Britain says no, make sure that America is going to say no. And make sure that France will come and obey. You know, France is like a rat that bites you while doing. But in actual sense, it is standing for Britain. Miriam, that is the truth. France is like a mice that bites your feet on behalf of Britain. When forget Danita, what? Just forget it. They are the same people. Let me tell you today. That's why it took them almost 2 years, 5 years, negotiating separation. And even in this separation, boss, it is not total separation. They have put very good conditions for their people, all of them from Europe, to arrive than you. Show me one country in Europe that has been banned, whose plane has been banned from landing in Heathrow. Show me. It is only Netherlands that stopped British aircraft to land in the Netherlands. So Britain also said, ours will not go there. So if you want to go to Britain, you go to Netherlands, Heathrow Airport, then fly to France. You go to France by train, then you arrive, you take KLM from France or Air France and land in the United Kingdom. Now, in the final analysis, the letter written by the Minister of Foreign Affairs gives more of a bitterness after a divorce. It does not make things better, Miriam. The wife has told you, don't come near my house again. And then you write and say, I'm also going to make sure that you don't come. But the wife says he will never come to your house. The wife will stay in that house, eat food. Britain has, its people are even being told, if you manga one day, you cross one day out of Heathrow, or Bristol, or Manchester, or Liverpool, you are flying out without telling us where you are going. You are fined £5,000. Musa, did you know that? Did you know that? Now know it. That's why I'm a teacher. Know it today. Any British national flying out, Miriam, is fined without any reason where you are going, that you are going to see a Simba in Imara. You can wait for that Simba to be seen next year. But now you cannot come to Kenya to go and see a nightclub in Mombasa, and you are allowed to go. If you go and you come back, you will be fined £5,000, 800,000 Kenya shillings. They are protecting what is the interest of the red list. Miriam, perhaps tomorrow and another day we have to struggle with this topic. It's a very wide topic and a very interesting. What is the interest of the red list? Is to protect human beings. They are human beings. They are nationals. Uhuru Kenyatta is protecting Kenyan nationals by saying lock down the place where COVID-19 has excessively come and damaged us. See, people are telling Uhuru Kenyatta, you are what, or you are what, or you are what, or you are looking for COVID money. They are throwing cartoons. Nobody is playing with this disease. Nobody is playing with this disease. The president is telling you, please close it down. You don't want. You want a restaurant. Yet, Dr. Joseph is telling you, why don't you list your clients and follow them? Don't be in Kenya Railways and think you are in the railway business. You are in the transport business. Look for clients, not the railway. Am I wrong, sir? That is how we teach our students. Look for clients. You are not in the railway business. Kenya Railways is not in the railway business. Kenya Railway buys wagons. It doesn't manufacture its wagons. But Kenya Railways transports human beings. So Kenya Railways will protect, like Britain will protect its people from people who are coming with infected with other variants that are coming where conditions are being done haphazardly. I submit, therefore, as we end this subject and go home, the thing is this, Miriam. It is that action, and I want to read. I've seen an internet copy here. I want to be very candid because there are some people here who think we are telling lies. The African Center for Disease Control, CDC, advised African nations against importing commercial COVID-19 vaccines, saying it would engage in with manufacturers on behalf of the continent. The Sunday Nation of your paper, I think it is on page 4. I picked it from the internet. And reliable sources indicate here that, but the Kenyan companies went ahead to buy 75,000 doses of Russian Sputnik V against the advice of CDS. Don't blame Matanga. Why are you blaming the British? Where's the blame here? Where's the blame? Why do you blame the British government here? It is here. CDC is the one that regulates all of us. It is the one that gives you the certificate of COVID. It's the one that gives you the vaccine, that you have a certificate of vaccine, which is recognized worldwide. It advised the Kenyan government not to buy this vaccine. The Kenya government, Ruto, let's not say government, Ruto and the mafia and the cartels, they went and bought this medicine. The revelation that the CDs warned Africa begs the question, who was behind the importation of the vaccine in Kenya, and why did they fly? Why did they defy expert advice? It is on page 4 of the Daily Nation. And I don't know to put in Kenya on the Minister of Foreign Affairs think we are talking something we're against them. So, you mean the British Commissioner cannot see this in Kenya? Then to make matters worse, this page 4 has a picture of your so-called man called Ruto Hasora, with his coffee smiling, his teeth this time closed. He's smiling, being injected with a Russian shirt. German. What type of life is this? So the British saw this and added Kenya on this list. The list is here. The list is here. It's as long as that. Those who are watching, it is as long as that. And more countries are going to be added. All what we need to do, Miriam, final statement, is now Kenya to sit down, send quiet, cool-headed people to start persuading, lobbying, talking to the British to open a channel of dialogue, as Dr. Joseph has said, and our brother Sean, open the channel of dialogue. Let's have dialogue. Let's see how Britain can remove us from the red list. Otherwise, we might not be able to survive with Kenya Airways bringing 0, 0, 0 income. Already it is on a very hanging situation. Now, if it brings 0 income, where are we? Where are we? We need each other. Britain needs Kenya. Kenya needs Britain. Therefore, I submit. Time has come. Let's not penalize Britain. Let's not think it has lost. Let's not think of Britain being bipolar. My son used the word bipolar nation. No. Musa, a bipolar nation is more deadly. It protects its interests It is true, African nationalism, like me, a Pan-African, I'm not very happy of the events taking shape because I would prefer to listen to the CDC. But we have not listened to the CDC, which is our AU. It is put there by the African Union. So we have lost it out. And we are going to buy medicine. Each and everybody is going to weigh into his jet fighter and buy medicine, come and inject people here. Whose side effects we cannot control.
Mm-hmm.
So what will happen now? What will happen? Ruto is the main cause. And the earlier the president looks at the Minister of Foreign Affairs to remove Namwamba, to put there somebody other than someone, Namwamba, who gets all the secrets of Minister of Foreign Affairs and hands them over to Ruto to know what they can do and use the letterheads of Foreign Affairs, the better for the president and the legacy. Full stop. Papa! Musa, when you come to bury me, I've said it. Whenever you come, find me upright, Miriam. I've said it. The earlier they do it, the ministry is in chaos. Ababu Namwamba is a businessman looking for business. I don't care about Wesonga, you come from the same clan. I am sorry. If you want him to stay there, go and tell him ship up or ship out. He's the one doing deals. He did the deal on Somalia negotiation. He pocketed the money. Where is the Somalia negotiation? Where is it? Mr. President, where is the money for the negotiation for maritime? Where is it? Oh, I am the one being condemned, going to be killed by Somali. Farimajo is calling me a kafir when Namwamba is busy eating the money. They have not negotiated. Where is it? Who took this money for negotiation? Where? Where did it produce? Why are we here? Where we are? We are going to have a war, Miriam. Should we be keeping quiet? And then we have a deputy president within the government coming to wear a Russian shirt as if this is a football to show us that he's Russian with his Russian mafia bringing colonial 10 in this country. Very soon, people, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Matsanga. Thank you, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Thank you, Daniel Lusonga. Thank you, Jevan Karanja, who left the conversation a bit early. And of course, thank you so much, Musa Abdi Haji, all the way from Isiolo. This has been Africa Showdown. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Fellow Africans, I took this petition to the court in order to stop any future usage of falsehood and false documents, procured witnesses of the Waki Commission. I took this petition to the court 4 years ago in order to make sure that the Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court does not use this evidence anytime in the future, whether tomorrow or 10 years to come, to refer to this evidence because the evidence was fake. It is with this dismay and with this courage that I took to go to court in Kenya to seek a judicial review and to redeem the credibility of both those accused and the victims of this catastrophe that occurred in Kenya, that I decided to seek to expunge this report from the reports and the statute books of Kenya. It is unfortunate that the three judges in Kenya, whom I will name now, Judge Kanyi Kimondo, Judge Aburil, and Judge Onyengo, all of them sat down and gave very silly, flimsy, prudish, sardonic ruling against our petition. I want to tell the Kenyans that I have done my best. I want to be on record that should this thing reappear again, don't call me. Should it reappear again, don't say I never told you. Should the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court use this fake evidence again against Kenyans, don't say I did not tell you. My role was to go and remove these obnoxious toxins from the books of the Republic of Kenya. I therefore want to tell the world that my torrid road, a long road that I've taken in search for this envelope, has ended in Kenya so far. But I want to announce that Kenya is not the only state party in international law. Kenya is not the only state party. I will in the future, very soon, detail to you which other state party I'm going to seek this envelope to be expunged and to be made public to the people of the world. I want to thank you all. I want to tell you that a detailed document which is entitled My Long Road, Torrid Road to Work envelope will be found on www.panafricanforumltd.com. You can read it, you can dissect, you can see the days, the long road, what I took, what I did, referenced, well documented, and may God help you that at one time somebody in Kenya will stand up to say thank you very much.